Hi guys, welcome back. Today I really wanted to share something that has been shared with me. Um, if if you're receiving this message, if you're listening to it, then it's definitely something that you were meant to hear this time. I am speaking here to Divine Feminine Collective, the Divine Feminines that are in my collective. I am going through this journey as well, and I wanted to speak on your divine counterpart and something that maybe I should say that I was reminded of, or well, I guess I can say that. I just wanted to say that I do apologize in advance. I am battling a cold and I just have a lot of cough, and my throat is extremely irritated, so I'm trying to keep my voice low so that I don't irritate it and end up having a fit of coughing here in this podcast. But I do apologize if my voice sounds very raspy. I'm trying to kind of keep it very low so that it doesn't happen. So what has been shown to me has to do with the divine masculine's avoidance of their own feelings, your connection. The labels doesn't matter, however you want to call that. I am talking about you and your counterpart. If you are divine feminine, then your divine counterpart has been the one that created the space between you and them, and run away from their own feelings, from your connection. And I believe it was very important for me to hear this message. I mean, obviously, all of the messages, all of the guidance we receive is extremely important, because otherwise we wouldn't be receiving that, of course. But I did want to share it because I think that in the midst of it all, it is, after all, our spiritual awakening, and there's a lot of things going on, both internally, individually, and as a collective, and of course in your connection with your divine counterpart as well. And if you're listening to it, then you're on the state of the journey where you're merging back into one with your divine counterpart, and so you have done a lot of healing of your own, of your lower chakras, and now you have met your divine counterpart in your heart chakra. And what I found out through my own experience is that a lot of times, like, to whom certain wound belongs, or that sounds weird, but it's all very much merged together. And so a lot of times when things come up, it kind of gets overshadowed, not only by your own reaction, but also by your counterpart's reaction, because you have merged energetically. And a lot of times what you're feeling is kind of their reaction, and so I was gonna say that it kind of gets muddled but it's not muddled. It's just that you're learning to live as one being again after being separated for such a long time from each other. But I'm saying this because during that merging, there's so much happening to you and in the connection, and on top of that, of course, all of the collective advancements, that I think it's quite easy, or well, maybe not easy, but it happens that you may get lost in all that pain and all the wounding that comes up. You know, it's dragging up pretty much the deepest things that you yourself have buried and your divine counterpart have buried. I just a moment ago saw 555 on the recording time. That may be significant to someone. And so the message that I have received, I really feel guided to share with you guys. So the message is, if the runner, so your divine masculine, had the chance to tell you anything without like the fear of being judged, they would tell you all that they're afraid of telling you, all that they're afraid of as well, so their own fears. They would like to tell you how amazing you are, even the smallest things about you, about who you are, about what you do and how you choose to act, but they are afraid to share their thoughts with you, and have been afraid to share these thoughts and emotions with you, because they were made to believe since they were children to neglect their feelings, that they were taught that as children, that perhaps their emotions didn't matter or they were not validated in any way. And so a lot of times that also kind of included their initial thoughts and reactions, which a lot of times, if not all the times, is our own intuition. Whether you are a male or a female doesn't really matter, but they were taught either directly or indirectly through their experiences that those are invalid, or that they need to learn to invalidate these emotions, these thoughts, and that they should act in a different way to be accepted or to be loved or to be noticed. So now when the two of you were connecting, and even if we were to kind of remove the journey itself and kind of put it to the side so that you and your counterpart would have a chance to speak to each other, they probably would hide their true feelings. You know, whether you are, probably if you're listening to it, you are in the moment where you're merging with your divine masculine, and so you are very close to having the 3D connection, being grounded in the 3D, but unless it's also a message to you that already have reunited with your beloved in the 3D, because healing will continue as the two of you will get together as well. as the reunion or the permanent union of you and them will manifest in the 3D as well. They will, both of you really will continue to heal and advance, of course, this time around learning to do it together. Because, of course, during the preparation phase, you have learned to stand on your own and to do it on your own. So there may be situations where, for whatever reason, their reaction seems maybe cold or avoidant or just kind of not what you would expect of your divine masculine, especially if they already have done a significant amount of healing. But what you must understand is that because the wounding that the divine masculine collective carry within themselves, it's so deeply ingrained within them in the false ego, the karmic personality that you kind of saw in the beginning of your connection. It kind of sits so deep within them that it's bound to come out every now and then until the moment it's released completely. And when that happens, it will probably happen that they will say something or that isn't vulnerable, despite maybe the situation calling for it, even if their initial reaction, and this is kind of what you feel energy-wise, that they were very pleasantly surprised, or their initial reaction was just amazement at who you are, maybe your decision, maybe something that you did for them or for somebody else, but maybe instead of voicing it to you, they don't necessarily maybe brush it off, or they do, but maybe they say something that isn't warranted for the moment. What happens then is that for them, so let's say for the runner, for the polarity within your connection that has been taught to really avoid the feelings, to avoid these things, to avoid really opening up, is that they're highly intelligent. They're highly intelligent. So they will notice, also because they feel you and they see right through you. They will realize, because of their own awareness and because of what they see within you and maybe your reaction, they will realize that they have missed the mark. They have pretty much missed the chance to open up, to say something straight from their heart. And because they put such high they're critics of themselves. They put such high expectations of themselves, and this is kind of the part of the shadow that they were taught to be stoic and kind of always have control over things, over the situations. And so for them excuse me, for them to then realize that they have missed the chance, that they should have said something in that specific moment, but didn't because of their fear, they will kind of run away. So let's say the automatic, I shouldn't say that, but the karmic pattern within them, the negative pattern within them of kind of running away from the situation, it's gonna kind of show up and push them to do what they always have, which is running away from the situation or brushing it off or pretending that it wasn't as serious, while at the same time within them it's really going to be beating them up. They were afraid to show you how much they care for you, how they value you, how impressed they are by you. They're afraid to be fully present with you, because they are afraid, because of their past, because of the experiences that they've had, that you either won't accept their authentic self, or like their initial reaction, whether it's because they believe themselves not to be good enough or something, or whatever really the reason, they're afraid of being rejected, and so they may want to pull away. It really eats them up inside. It really eats at them. They retreat. They kind of don't want to face it. If they have done significant amount of healing, they will realize that their action, so the moment that they had a chance to say something, to open up, to be authentic with you, they will realize that, oh, it's the wound within me, or it's the pattern, or it's the fear coming up again. I need to heal it because I do not want to hurt my divine feminine. And because they don't want to hurt you, for them, it's almost like the pattern within them tells them that the only way to fix the situation is to retreat, so to pull back from you in order to heal this, so that they can come back healed, and I'm saying healed in quotation marks, so that this situation doesn't happen again. Not realizing, or perhaps not realizing in that moment where they really feel kind of the need to pull away, to kind of hide, to run from you, is that the only way to heal that is to stay present in that moment, to observe your reaction, to kind of see how whatever they said or the situation itself has affected you, and kind of see or try to see your point of view on the matter. When that happens, when that fear comes up within them, they kind of forget that you, as their divine feminine, are their medicine. You are the key to their healing. It is through you and pretty much your light. So you being you, they can find a way out of that negative pattern within themselves, or negative belief system, whether it's them believing of not being enough, or them being convinced that as soon as they show themselves to you, like truly who they really are deep down, so not the mask, that they will be rejected because you will not think, you either not like that, or that they're not good enough for you. And they are really afraid to ask for your help. They do see you. I'm being shown the kind of the thing that is being talked about when it comes to the journey, that the divine masculine puts the divine feminine on a very high pedestal, and it's so high up that they kind of don't even put themselves anywhere near on the same level as their divine feminine. And so they will just kind of regard her as this ethereal being, a goddess that is unattainable, and because of that they kind of don't have the right to interact, I'm hearing. So they will, because of their negative beliefs, they will be afraid to ask you for your help. And that means, ask for your guidance, ask for your patience, your presence, ask for you and to please hold space for them as they are navigating through that shadow that came up. And it is important for us, and I'm saying this because I am the divine feminine in my own connection, that we must remember that the divine masculine has been brainwashed to believe that they must be strong at all times, that they need to be collected, put together, that they're not supposed to kind of show any kind of emotions, that they could be, that they need to be composed at all times, that showing their vulnerability is actually a weakness, which it's not, because true masculinity, it's such a power to be vulnerable. And divine masculine, as he heals, he will realize that, and he will stand strong in that power. And me as the divine feminine, it makes me so proud of my own divine masculine, because I know that, of course, it's the same for him. And it's just amazing to behold, even though I'm not seeing it with my own eyes. I know it because I can feel the changes. So it's amazing. And well, obviously, the more we all heal, the better it is, right? Because we are breaking free from all of these karmic beliefs, really. The karma, that the ancestral karma, the societal beliefs that we are kind of made believe that we have to follow. So it is amazing. But again, because of all of that, they don't believe, like, it's almost like it doesn't exist for them to ask for that kind of help, because of what they go through, because they were alone all this time. And you, divine feminine, you have also been alone. Of course, that is the part of this journey, that is a part of it. We all kind of feel isolated, and I mean us, not just as, I don't know, starseeds, light workers, old souls, however you wish to call that. Even people that are not yet awake, because of all this separation that we're also being taught that it exists, we do feel very isolated, very alone. And so, because the divine masculine has been forced, just like as you were, to be alone and to kind of only rely on himself, the divine masculine must learn to open up and to be vulnerable, that it's not a weakness, that through opening up there is help to be received, the kind of help that will help him break free from that. And there's another side to this, the kind of healing, that is to happen, that as the divine feminine, we are not supposed to ever overstep our boundaries as the divine feminine. So what I mean by that is that we had also opportunities to learn to kind of put to rest our own internal masculine side within us, to stop pushing, to stop trying to fix things, to let be all the action and kind of be more present within us, to receive and to just be and to hold space for the people in our lives. And that comes into play in those moments will come into play once your permanent reunion with your beloved happens, it, like, whether it's your divine masculine really or anybody else, none of us should be forcing our will onto other people, because it's very disrespectful. But a part of what has been shown to me that made me record this message for you guys was that to kind of remember and keep in mind really that as much as we, the divine feminines, see through these patterns very easily, we are the oracle, we do have the clear cognizance of our surroundings and people around us. It's heightened with our divine counterparts because they are us. We are one with that other person, and so it's very easy for us to see the patterns, all these wounds, but you have to respect. So we as the divine feminine must respect whether or not our divine counterpart is ready to receive the help, if they're open to facing that wound within them. And this is kind of something that will come into play once you will reconnect with your divine masculine, that when the 3D catches up to your inner union and the 5D union with your beloved, things will of course come up, and that is extremely important that of course you use everything that you have learned during that preparation phase and employ it when the two of you come back together, this time permanently, for the rest of your lives and for the rest of your existence. It's important that you make it known to your divine masculine that, let me just put it this way, that the help is available, because I think that depending on the situation, maybe the verbiage will be different, but that you allow them the space and the time for them to come to the conclusion themselves that, yes, now it's the time for me to face that. Yes, now is the time. I do want to face this because I do not want to continue hurting you, or I don't want to continue feeling this way. I want to heal it. They need to be ready for it. And you should wait. You have to wait for them to let you know that they want your help. My little kitty cat is meowing if you're hearing it. Hi, baby Zikia. So it's, you kind of have to think of it this way. Your divine masculine is your other self. It's you in a different body, really. And think of it this way. They value their own inner self and their own inner peace just as much as you do. So all the boundaries that you have learned to put in place, to enforce, all the respect that you are giving others and having for yourself, every single time you honor yourself, where you choose yourself, they do it too. So if you were to try to push the work or the healing or your help, however you wish to kind of describe this, I apologize, onto them when they're not ready, it is really very disrespectful, first of all, because it's kind of like they're not worse than you. You know, you guys are one being. It's just that you're experiencing it from two different bodies, but the feelings, the emotions, the energy is one. But you have to think of it that if you are pushing for them to see things from your perspective and to push to solve the situation or to, you know, kind of clear the way, you have to respect their boundaries too. You have to respect their own, let's say, I'm trying to think of a nicer way to put it than what I was going to put it, but kind of their own way of dealing with things. If they in the moment feel overwhelmed with guilt because they didn't react ideally the way they wish to, always react the correct way, let's say, or the healed way, but they didn't because maybe the situation overwhelmed them, then if they need I don't know, a couple of hours or a couple of days to kind of put things into perspective, to, I usually say kind of like, you know, put things into order in their own head and be ready to come back and be open about this and ask for your perspective that they value so much, you should allow that for them too. This, of course, should be, because it is a give and take, it is an equal give and take. You should make your own boundary known, to maybe state that, listen, I don't like leaving things unfinished. Like I myself, I am the kind of person, I don't like when things are happening and you just let them be, because small things turn to be big things, and I don't like things to fester. I would prefer to kind of talk it out. But this message that I have received kind of made me think that if you, because as an unhealed divine feminine, you were the chaser, right? So, and I was too, of course. And to me, the doing was the solution. So let me get this fixed. Let me try to talk it out. Let me do this. I felt the need to do. Like I felt the need to kind of get the solution and talk things out and find solutions and get, let's say, other people's perspective, because it's not just with my own divine masculine. But if one of you, if one person in a divine connection is to, let's say, enforce. That's maybe not the right word, but let me use it. So if one of the people in a divine connection enforces their will because they think like, oh, but this is the kind of person that I am, and now I love myself, so I'm gonna be like the way I am, and people will just have to accept it. And so your divine counterpart would have to kind of like either take it or leave it, right? But that comes from ego. And as much as perhaps you would like things resolved right away, or you would like for your divine masculine to maybe open up in that specific moment and kind of say like, oh, you know what, sorry about that, I flopped, I just wanted to say something from my heart, but I don't know, the fear flared up, or I panicked and I said something I shouldn't. It's a compromise from both sides, but it's really important at each given moment. Do not use your head. Do not allow your ego to kind of tell you that, you're a bad bitch and everybody should kiss the ground that you walk on. People should respect each other. Really, that's all there is to it. But kind of put yourself in the situation. If your divine masculine would always require you to do the things his way, but you see things differently, you would not be happy either. And so remember that part of the collective masculine wounding is their codependency. It's codependency on other people. For them, it's always been about them doing things, making decisions based on other people's happiness, because they believed that the only way that they could be loved or appreciated or seen or valued was if they made other people happy, even if it was through their own sacrifice. So through them sacrificing themselves. And a lot of time, because that is the whole point kind of this journey, that is exactly what it has been. So the divine masculine has been self-sacrificing over and over and over again in order to keep people close to them, whether it was a romantic partner or a friend group, co-workers, I don't know, maybe they did sports, there was like a team, people from their team, let's say, or whomever, really, it doesn't really matter. But they were brainwashed. They were made to believe, and they were taught that the only way for them to be valued, really, because that is kind of what it comes down to, was through their own sacrifice. So you think of it that they have to be ready to face these things. If you impose your wisdom, your knowledge, the fact that you kind of see, very clearly that, oh, it's one of the, like a certain pattern that came up, and you have the solution, you have the answer. If you try to impose that, they will avoid it even more. They will run away from this. They will run away from the situation. If you kind of are combative, they will fight you back, and they will fight you even more. Respect their freedom. Respect them just as you respect your own needs. They I apologize. They do want to be able to take things at their own pace. to process things in their own way. If they always met you where you are at, so if they kind of always did the things or did really everything according to your wishes, they would never know if the things that they did were done for themselves, as in like because that is what they desired, or was it done for you to earn you, to keep you in their life, or maybe kind of like, oh, she is my divine feminine, or this is my divine feminine. You can be a man and be the divine feminine too, but oh, this is my divine feminine and I do not want to lose her, or I kind of know the dynamic and I understand that she has her boundaries, and I have to respect that. So I kind of have to, let's say, I don't know, do what she says. And it's not that. It should never be like that. Because the divine masculine has been codependent, a lot of times it's going to show up when it comes to people close to them. So family members, whether it's parents, siblings, their own kids, or their spouse. Pretty much their whole lives has been done according to other people's wishes. You know, it could be parents telling them that, oh, you should be doing this or that, or you should be acting this way and not that way. Maybe they're together with somebody, they're married, and their spouse is telling them that, oh, now that we are married, you should never do this, or now that we are married, you should do this, or now you're a certain age, so you shouldn't be doing this. And it's always, for them, it's always been about others. They, out of necessity, and of course it's not a true necessity, but their belief was that it was necessary for them to ignore their own desires and appease others in their life, because if they didn't, they would be rejected, they would not be valued, they would be alone, and nobody would see them. So that is kind of the biggest struggle they face, to be sovereign while being in a relationship with you. And for you, divine feminine, it is the same thing. It's just kind of in a different way. It's like from the other side of the lens, or like from the other side of the scale. Well, of course you should respect that, but you should try to find a way to work with it and not see it as a block. And then there was one more thing that I wish to mention before I close out this episode of my little recordings here. As the runner, I do not wish to call them avoidance, but as an avoidant, so as the person that was made to believe that they should avoid their feelings and ignore their feelings and value practicality over anything else and other people's opinions about their own desires, the sad truth of it is that they struggle to kind of see value of being in a relationship where they are required to be their authentic self and to be vulnerable, because they were made to believe that relationships are burdened for them. Not because anybody has ever told them that, oh, listen, you know, don't ever get into a relationship, or like don't get married or whatever, because it's a burden. It is because of their fears, because of what they have experienced when they were made to deny their feelings, when they were made to ignore their feelings, their desires, their fears, whatever came up for them, really. Each time that they were made to choose others above themselves, which was every single time, because that is the divine masculine wounding, it has become a burden. They live an existence as a divine masculine on this earth, believing that they're obligated to take responsibility for other people's happiness, and that is not true. That is an illusion, but it's a very big block for them, and it's sad. It is so fucked up. Sorry, YouTube, I am gonna curse. It is truly so sickening. It's disgusting to even think about it, that this is happening to people as we speak. Imagine living in bondage. It's you know, it's I kind of maybe don't want to use that word. I was gonna say something else, but your freedom is taken away from you because you're made to believe that you're responsible for other people's happiness. You have to choose practicality in your life over your own desires, because you're made to believe that other people's survival or happiness or well-being is dependent on you doing things according to their own wishes. Not your own wishes, their wishes. So during the course of their life, every single connection that they had, whether it was a familiar one, a platonic, friends, colleagues, neighbors, you name it, or any romantic ones, romantic in quotation marks, any kind of attachment has been a burden to them, because it was never about their own desires, their own true heart's desires. It was about practicality. It was about what seemed the correct choice, the correct relationships, the correct way of living, according to what society taught them, what their family taught them, what their parents maybe expected, what their let's say romantic karmic partner expected them to be and how to act. That is what I mean when I say that they are struggling to see the value in being open and fully, truly vulnerable with you, because for them a relationship, so even a relationship with you, from the beginning has seemed as another burden. And as they heal, they start seeing that this is of course not true, because you as the divine feminine has been very, very consistent in showing them, and of course other people around you, your unconditional love, your understanding, grace for them, your consistency, your presence, your like non-judgment. They have always believed that they cannot have their sovereignty, so being who they truly are and having what they truly want and have a relationship at the same time, because for them their truth, so to speak, was that in order for them to have any friends, any, I don't know, let's say, be accepted in society, whether having a family, a spouse, or having acceptance in their family, was to do everything according to somebody else's wishes, not what they truly wanted. And so what they have been unlearning, what they have been healing, is just that, not thinking of a relationship with you, a connection with you, a life spent with you as their divine feminine, as their everything they ever wanted, as that burden, but see it for what it truly is. They have learned that they must sacrifice themselves in order to be loved and to keep people close to them, is what I'm trying to say. For them, it's kind of either it's me or a life with, like, a part of a collective, right? So a part of a group. And as unhealed versions, we humans kind of long to be a part of a group. We do want that later on too, but once we have healed a certain amount, we realize that we are connected and we don't feel the need for that kind of validation. We're very much fine on our own, and so that need kind of disappears. And then we, of course, enjoy like good-natured people around us, but there's not that need for them, which is different. It's kind of the divine masculine's core wound. Like, one of the core wounds is like the collective shadow that they are healing, and that you are going to be and are helping them to heal. They have unlearned that, and are unlearning, and or have unlearned that it doesn't have to be either or. Like, their sovereignty, them being in their power, them following their own heart's desires, like the true desires, not what society expects them to want and do, but what they truly want to do, and have a beautiful, fulfilling connection, because those things were mutually exclusive for the divine masculine. So I kind of think of it that both couldn't be true at the same time for them, and that is what they have been healing, because they saw you as this emotional fulfillment, not only, but you are everything they ever wanted to. Even the way you look has not been as the usual type, because the usual type comes from the karmic imprint that we kind of take on when we incarnate on earth. So of course you're not it, but the way you look, they chose everything: your height, your weight, your hair, eyes color of your hair, your complexion, everything. They chosen you, and they see you as perfect each lifetime. So it's kind of your patience, your presence, your persistence in showing them your understanding, and the fact that you hold space for them will help them open up to love, to give you the love and give others love, and to receive it. It's going to help them heal that either or mentality. If, again, you're listening to this message, if you're still here, I'm happy that you are, because this is such an incredible message. It's so important. You're about to reunite with your beloved, and it's they are healed. They're a completely different person than who you have met, who you have connected with, who you remember even, depending on the situation. I don't know how long, each of us has a different period of time when it comes to the preparation phase before we reunite for good. But everything that you have been learning on your own, the constant surrender, the constant lessons of patience, um, and you really holding space over and over again for your divine masculine, but also for other people in your life, has been a training ground to accommodate the wounds that he has been carrying, because they will come up again when the two of you connect again, to truly release the last of it, if you will. But everything that you have gone through has prepared you for his wounds, and everything that he has gone through has prepared him for your wounds. And so now you'll be working as a unit, as a team, you'll be helping each other, and now both of you really understand the fact that it's such an asset to have each other, to be that perfect mirror for each other. It's not a weakness to know that there's another person that sees right through you, because a lot of times when things come up for you, and that I'm talking from personal experience, a lot of times it's not right away that I will get the point of it. Like, it's not right away I will like now a lot of the times, but not always will I see the pattern right away, or like what is the situation trying to teach me. Like, it will take some time. Your divine counterpart will see right through you right away, and it's such a big help. It's amazing. So your unconditional love is what gives. Oh, my kitty cat is asking for pets, I think. It's your unconditional love that gives them space and time to heal those wounds. And it's the same for you. Their love and their lessons is really for you as well, so that you have the time and space to heal your own. So it's also important to know, it's just the last thing that I will mention for us divine feminines, and it's the same thing for divine masculine, but it's to remember for us as the divine feminines, because we had to heal the abandonment, the rejection, the other woman wounding, all of this separation, really, this rejection, the abandonment. Please remember that your divine masculine, if he pulls away any time in the past, well, time doesn't exist, but you know what I mean, in the past, when your divine masculine pulled away, when he pushed you away, when he, I don't know, gone cold, ghosted you, created space between the two of you, it was never because of anything you ever did or didn't do. None of your actions caused that. Not who you are or who you are not. So it's, you never did this. The only thing that happens is that when they met you and saw you in all your perfection, because you are perfect for them, that in their mind, let's say, so for them it wasn't, oh wow, this is my beautiful, perfect divine feminine, I'm so happy, let me go get her. It's, oh wow, this is my perfect feminine and she's everything that I ever looked for. I am never going to be enough for her. I am too wounded. I am too bad of a person. I am not good of a person enough. I don't earn enough money. It has shown them not the truth that they're missing things or that they're not good enough. It triggered all the fear and the wounding within them. So please don't take it to heart, as difficult as it is. I know it has been extremely difficult for me, at least. It is, you could have not have done anything differently because your soul has planned the path for both of you. So everything has been perfect. But for the divine masculine, the running, if you will, the ghosting or the creating the space or rejecting you even, this was their wounded self's defense mechanism when things came up within them for healing for them. The same way the divine feminine's defense mechanism when things are falling apart has been her running around and fixing things and trying to fix things and taking action in that way, as in chasing, doing the masculine things. We also had to heal that. So, you know, they really do see you as their perfection. They see, like, let me put it this way, when they meet you and there's this initial connection, all they see is that stark light within you, the love, the light, the grace for others, the kindness within you. And it kind of makes them wonder if they will ever measure up to you. And there comes a kind of moment where they turn it against you. They project their own unhealed wounds onto you. They kind of try to find faults within you. But as they are healing and as they have healed on their journey, it makes them step up themselves. It makes seeing you for who you are makes them look at themselves in a different way. They start seeing the things in you that they have noticed, that they saw, the kindness, the love, the understanding, the grace that you extend to others. They start seeing these things within themselves too. They start believing in themselves. They start to see worthiness within themselves. They start see themselves as absolutely worthy of wanting things in their life, of desiring and acquiring the things that they want. They start noticing kind of the good parts within themselves that they could not see before. All they could see was pain. All they could see was the things that they thought were, let's say, wrong with them. So each time you show them unconditional love and forgiveness and understanding and kindness, even if you're disconnected currently in the 3D, it doesn't matter. You're always connected. There's always telepathy. You always feel each other one way or the other. And even if not, for your protection, believe me when I tell you the divine, and you know this already, I'm telling you things that you know already, the divine will make sure that they know. It helps them see themselves in the same light as they have seen you. And as they see you, each time that you enforce your boundaries, whether it is or has been with them or it is with other people, it teaches them to enforce boundaries of their own and uphold them and honor them. So really, all of this is really just kind of to remind you that the divine masculine and you really want the same thing, and that is to love, to give love, and to be loved, to receive love freely, without fear, without pain, and without feeling that they must self-sacrifice, or that we as the divine feminist must chase certain things, or, overgive. No. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that my podcast has helped you. I hope that my words have helped you. I'm going to go rest my voice, and I will talk to you another time. Bye.